I'm Steve Zakuani. I'm here with King Books and you're watching Love Sport.
Has told me about any. Has there been any interest from your country on the international level?
Yeah, I played a game for Congo. I played a game in November for Congo against Mali and Paris.
Yeah.
But it was just a friendly exhibition game, so
Yeah.
it didn't tie me down to them. So I've experienced that. In all honesty, I'm eligible for England, for Congo, and eventually for USA coming up.
Yeah.
That's free. England, is it going to happen? Probably not.
Yeah.
I mean,
Why
let's
do you
be realistic. Yeah.
Why do you think that wouldn't happen?
England have great players. They have great players, and they won't necessarily look to MLS to get a player. You know, which is right or wrong, I don't really care. But let's just say they have good players here. They have what they need. So, and I don't really care to play for England that much. Congo was fun. I got to check it out and see the thing, but I just don't know much about the organisation because it's not that kind of organisation compared to the structure of England and USA. The one that intrigues me is USA because I made my name there. I came through that system eventually, and I play in that league. And so I'm waiting on my papers, and once I get the papers and I'm eligible, it'll be down to me to prove that I can actually compete on that level. Which I don't know if it's going to happen, but I know at this point I say I'm leaning towards USA, so we'll see.
Okay, and moving along to goal line technology. What do you think about technology being introduced in sport? I mean, there's a debate everywhere. People are talking about it. Players talk about it. Managers talk about it. TV pundits talk about it. What do you think about it? Do you think goal line technology should be introduced?
I understand the frustration of it. If you're Frank Lampard and you scored against Germany, you ball crossed the line, and the linesman didn't give it, it's not given.
Yeah.
I understand that.
Yeah.
But I'm skeptical about introducing goal line technology because then it takes away the fun factor of the game. Like football's a spontaneous game. As kids right there behind you playing in the park, playing football. I was them 10 years ago. You know, you have disputes here, you go home, that was a goal, no, we won 9-8, no, it was 9-7, you start arguing. It's like that's part of football, you just arguing. So if you're going to bring in goal line technology to the point where everything's going to be done by the letter of the law automatically, there's no dispute, no room for error, I think it takes away a bit from the game. So then do we bring in technology for offside? Do we use lasers for offside flag? So that even if you're a step ahead, it flags you offside, then it beeps in the stadium, everyone hears you offside. I don't know. Because offside, linesmen make mistakes, and it makes the game fun. You don't know what's going to happen instead of it being completely automatic. So I wouldn't introduce goal line technology. I wouldn't put a buzzer or a beep or something in the ball, a sensor that lets you know every time you cross a line, the ball's in, it's a goal. I wouldn't. I think it doesn't happen often enough. It's happened on a couple big occasions, but it's not often enough to the point where you have to bring something like that in. I think the human error factor of it is part of football. Look at one of the most famous moments in all football is the hand of goal with Maradona.
Yeah.
If there was some kind of technology to kind of review the goal and replay and use his hand, it goes away. It takes away from the fun. He cheated, of course. We know he cheated, but it's gone down in history and we're looking at it. So.
But we always talk about fair play in sport, and bringing technology. I think, me personally, I think goal line technology would help. And talking about fair play in sport, and I think it's a bit of, it makes sense to me to introduce goal line technology. I mean, like you said, Germany against England, a well-deserved goal was cancelled because the referee did not see it, or the linesman did not give it. So I personally think goal line technology should be introduced, but obviously I don't think you do.
But then it's like the goal is the final thing. There's so much that leads up to the goal. Sometimes there was a foul that wasn't given, and the team got a breakaway, a counter-attack, and they scored from it. So now do we bring in technology for fouls somehow, where every foul has to be reviewed and it was a foul? Or sometimes it wasn't a foul and the guy gets the foul. And then from that free kick, the team scores a goal and something. So it's not always just the final goal line part. There's so much that goes into it that if you're going to regulate that part, you have to regulate everything that leads up to it, regulate to make the game just a robotic, perfect game, where there's no error, this is what you see is what it is and stuff. And I think it takes away from the free-flowing movement of football, which is what makes football so much fun. And for me, it doesn't happen often enough for us to bring in that kind of technology to take it away. I think it definitely, obviously, if I'm Frank Lampard, I'd be disappointed. Of course, I had a goal in the World Cup. I can understand that 100%. If that was me, I'd be upset as well. But at the same time, there isn't that event in every game. I don't expect to see it in every game. It's never happened in any of the games I've played in where you've disputed a goal like that. So yeah, it's something where Eventually, I think it will come in. Personally, I wouldn't bring it in.
All right. Another debate that's always talked about in football is always about players' wages. What do you think? A lot of people also always say caps should be put on players' wages, on how much clubs should be paying the players. What do you think about caps on players' wages?
You see, MLS is a salary cap,
Yeah.
so Major League Soccer actually has it, and that's to keep the balance of the league. So you don't end up having like superpowers like they have here at Man City, and it seems to just by everyone. So there's a cap there, and for MLS it works to an extent. NBA has a cap, NFL has a cap,
Yeah.
baseball has a cap. So in American sports it works. In England, I don't know if it would work because the game just it would work because Man U should be able to pay their players more than West Brom, for example, because Man U get more TV deals, more sponsorship deals. They bring in a lot of money. They generate more tickets, more fans, whatever. So they should be able to profit from that money that their name brings in all over the world. In Japan, in Ghana, everyone knows Man U. People wear their shirts everywhere. They should be able to profit from that. And so football is a big business. There's lots of money in it. So the guys who make it work are the players. So there's no reason why they shouldn't be profiting the most, which they're not profiting the most, or even as much as anyone else, because they're the ones putting the blood, sweat and tears into it. And if a chairman said he's going to pay $250,000 a week, why would you going to say no?
Of course.
There's no reason to say he doesn't deserve that. If the guy thinks he's worth it, he'll pay it, so it's fine.
Of course. What I always say to people we talk about players' wages with, I always say clubs do not pay wages they cannot afford.
Yeah.
And another argument I always put to people is that, I mean, all sports, contact sports, which football is a dangerous sport. And one single injury can end a player's career. And talking about injuries, you're injured right now with a broken leg. And I think players, if clubs do agree to pay them certain wages, I absolutely agree that they should be paid those wages that clubs think they deserve.
Yeah. I mean, we don't regulate what the dentist makes, what the doctor makes, what the teachers make. It's between them and the employer. And if the employer says, I'm going to pay you so and so, and I think that's fine. I think that's totally fine. Look at Samuel Eto'o, when he went to Russia, he's making out of 31 million pounds or dollars a year. If they're willing to pay him that and they want him, of course he's going to take it. That's fine. I think that's what they call capacity. You can make as much as you want. You agree with the employer, you do it. I don't think you can really regulate that and say you can't make more than 5 million stuff. And if the game keeps growing, then what do? You raise the cap. It's going to cause issues. So just let everyone pay what they can afford. And if teams start paying what they can't afford, they're going to get found out like Leeds United did a few years ago. Going to administration. So Man City, Barca, Madrid, all these teams who can afford these players. It's fun, it's exciting, they get the best players to play together. Us as fans, we enjoy it, we can watch it, and I think it's fine. I think it's great for the game.
Okay, so where do you see yourself? Going back to you, where do you see yourself, or where would you want to see yourself in about 5 years' time?
Honestly, just playing well. Like I always say, the only thing I can control is how well I play. So I try to master my craft. I work hard. On different aspects of my game, and I want to get it right and get my game really tight. So if I do that, then the byproduct will be interest from all kinds of teams. But I love it in Seattle. And if the situation is right and the conditions are right, I will be there for a very long time. If it isn't, and for whatever reason I can't be in Seattle for a long time, then I'll go wherever it makes sense to go. So I could play in England, I could play in Germany, I could play in France, I could play in Russia, I could play in Norway, I just love playing football. So whatever my talent level is at that time that I feel it deserves to be recognized at, I'll try and get myself to that platform. So if I reach a Barcelona level, then I'm not going to want to sign for a lower team than that, which is just a metaphor of, so if I'm playing at that level, I think, I can probably go out and try playing the championship in England, then I'll try and do that. I can try and play in Bundesliga, then I'll try and do that. So it's just about mastering my craft and then seeing where that can take me.
Okay, so what would you want to go into after your football career is finished? I mean, what kind of things are you interested in when you retire from football?
I already have my business, Kingdom Hope. I mean, I already have my organization, and I'm laying groundwork now for all the future work I want to do. So, for example, we're gonna build academies. First in England, and then we'll take it all over. I'm gonna do lots of life coaching for footballers, like just kids like me who were 16, 17 years old and never had real guidance and were lost and this and that, and they need direction. So we're going to try and get them in an environment where we can teach them that by building these academy and schools, and we're just gonna do that kind of thing. We do camps and coaching for kids. give out scholarships. Scholarships basically just, there's a lot of kids in America who are very good players but can't afford to go to school and play.
Yeah.
So I'm going to raise a fund to pay for them to go to school.
Yep.
And that's part of it. So just those kind of stuff. I want to be involved. I won't be involved in coaching and trying to stay in the game and being a scout. I'm not interested in that. So I just kind of go off from the game and just do my own thing.
Okay. And when are you looking to start those kind of projects down here in England?
In England, after my career.
Yeah.
Right now I'm in Seattle, so everything I'm doing is Seattle based.
Yeah.
The one I'm trying to launch next year is a scholarship. The scholarship will be to literally pay for a kid to go to university. A kid who's good at football, can't afford it, wants to play in university, I'll pay for him to go to school. Through this fund, I'm going to raise the scholarship fund through Kingdom Hope. And I want to try and start next year. We're already doing a lot of events, clinics, and clinics are basically just like 1 hour, 2 hour coaching sessions for kids. Camps are over a couple of 2 or 3 days. Try and go into some of that. And then from there, I just keep doing that for a while, and then when I'm ready to wind my career down, then I'll come back home and start working towards building this academy school for teenagers who will be in a position that I was in when I was that age. So that's my dream.
Okay. Well, it's been nice talking to you, Steve, and thank you very much for your time. And that's it.